Greetings, everyone. Core here, and it's that time of the week, at least during the summer, anyways. Time for another midnight review. And this week, I went to go see Finding Dory, which is the long-awaited sequel to Finding Nemo. If you haven't seen Finding Nemo, what's wrong with you? Pretty much everyone has seen Finding Nemo. I think. I mean, you can go through anyone's, DVDs, videos, but anything, and you'll find a Finding Nemo copy. You quote any of the lines that, especially Dory says, just keep swimming. Um, the whole, everything pretty much she says is quotable in a way. And people know what you're talking about. And that's pretty unique to have a film that transcends age gaps more or less too. I mean, it's good for kids. It's good. It's entertaining for kids, just to say. It's entertaining for adults. It's entertaining for people my age. It's interesting to see something like that come around and create this, I guess, fan base in a way. I mean, it was one of the movies that really helped out Pixar. Granted, of course, Toy Story and all that stuff, but that was their first movie growing up, where this is a new series pretty much, and it's interesting to see it grow into the sequel, which it's been about 13 years, I believe, since Finding Nemo. So that's pretty crazy how long it took them. Granted, Pixar does take a while to do things, and they usually don't like doing sequels too often. So they do put quality in their work, which it definitely shows. This movie feels like it picks up literally. I mean, technically, it does pick up right after the first one, because you don't really have a time gap of how long that adventure took them to go finding Nemo. But yeah, it's pretty crazy how they tie everything together, and the way it looks and the way it feels. It picks up and it looks like everything from the first one, which that's pretty unique to say. And this movie actually has a lot of good stuff in it. It has a lot of good characters. There's an octopus that comes around. That's actually pretty interesting. It is pretty quick to make friends, I should say. Of course, it's pretty interesting to see some of the relationships that Dory had before the whole Finding Nemo, before meeting Marlin, and Nemo, of course, going on an adventure to save Nemo. To see what she was kind of like and what happened to her and how she got literally to that exact spot and started the whole adventure with Marlin. So it's pretty crazy to see. Everyone comes back to do the voices. The voice acting is really great. It's funny because there's like some smaller characters in it, kind of like the first one, where they don't have many lines and they're not in it a lot, besides certain segments of it. But you really get their character right away from their voice, the way they act, even the animal that they are. Um, it's pretty unique. I gotta say, they definitely do their work on for as voice casting, and everyone fits very well. Um, it is pretty brisk. It does feel a little more rushed than Finding Nemo, a little bit faster pace for sure. Because the first one kind of let things settle, let things really soak in, um, to let them simmer pretty much before the big payoff. Which this one does have a few of those moments. It is interesting to see how they do the flashbacks with the reality when she's remembering things. So that's really cool to see that. And of course, Baby Dory is the most adorable thing ever. um, People thought Nemo was kind of cute. Baby Dory is the most adorable thing ever. Uh, you pretty much get her right at the beginning, and uh, yeah, it's pretty ridiculous how adorable. She's pretty much a chibi version of a fish, and that's crazy because fish, they're pretty much just heads in a way. So think of that. If you know what a chibi is, which is mostly big googly eye, baby eyes, heads, and then small little miniature body. But that's pretty much what she is. She's a chibi Dory, and she's adorable as fuck. Excuse the language if you don't like it, but that's how I want to describe it. Um, this movie's not gonna do it. This movie, it feels more aimed towards the audience that saw the first one, especially when they were younger, that liked it and grew up. And now it's kind of something that really, it kind of comes full circle a little bit. I mean, it does focus and does talk about a few things that normal movies don't talk about. Granted, the short-term memory thing and remembering stuff like that. It's kind of like Memento in a way. Kind of like there's that one with the kid that's a janitor. I'll remember it later. I'm pretty sure someone else will. And these guys take advantage of him to do a bank robbery in the bank that he works for. But yeah, it's interesting to see the take that they did for this tackling this issue, pretty much of short-term memory issues in people, of course, because they're pretty much people, but fish. And it's like I said, it's something you don't see too often, and I think it's done very well. It is pretty touching. A couple scenes, it does have those scenes that get a little harsh and stuff, but everything, of course, comes around back to being lighthearted to teach you a lesson and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a good movie. I'm pretty sure if you have kids and stuff, definitely go take them to see it. I think it's a little bit more. It I think it teaches lessons better than Finding Nemo, and I think that's because Pixar probably learned from Age and from all these other movies that have been coming out, tackling some issues that normally aren't tackled too often. So good for them. It's definitely holds up really well. I think it should do really well this weekend. It's a Pixar movie. I mean, they pretty much all do pretty well, and this one seems to have a lot of backing. And I think a lot of people wanted it, as much as people say they don't like sequels, but it's definitely one of the best sequels around. It's sitting like at a 90s in the mid 90s for both critics and users, so it's good for sure. But yeah, like I said, really can't say too much. Nothing really to nitpick besides maybe it is a little fast in its pacing, um, but it's good. I can't deny it's good. But yeah, so next movie will be a while. Next review will be a while until this next one comes up. But I will have unboxings coming up, so I should have an unboxing the next day or two, depending on when you see this. If not, it's already up. Which go watch it if you want to see. But it will be the Marvel Corps Collector's Box. It will be the Women of Power, a theme, pretty much. So, really looking forward to that. Might have it up probably tomorrow if you're watching this Friday. But yeah, besides that, as far as movie reviews, there's not too many movies that really interest me. I mean, Independence Day kind of does, but probably not going to see it first thing. The BFG, maybe, if there's another trailer that kind of catches my um, interest. The Secret Life of Pets, not really. Ghostbusters, definitely gonna have to see that. I'm definitely gonna make a review about that because there's so much controversy around it. It's kind of had to talk about it in a way. So that for sure will be the next one, but that's not until July 15th. So you're probably gonna go a month without movie reviews for those that care, because these are my lowest viewed videos. But if you do, hang in there, because right after that, it'll be Star Trek Beyond, which is on the 22nd of July, and Jason Bourne on the 29th. And of course, in August, Suicide Squad, which is probably my most anticipated movie this summer, because after that, it's just Kubo and the Two Strings, August 19th. And that's probably it until the end of the year, which Doctor Strange, November 4th. So, until next time, guys. Later.